Today we'll be learning about livestock. Animal husbandry is the agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. As such, it is a vital skill for farmers and is as much science as it is an art. Animal husbandry deals with the care and breeding of livestock like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camels, goats, etc. that are useful to humans. Extended, it includes poultry farming and fisheries. Fisheries include rearing, catching, selling, etc. of fish, mollusks and crustaceans, which are prawns or crabs, etc. Since times immemorial, animals like bees, silkworm, prawns, crabs, fishes, birds, pigs, cattle, sheep and camels have been used by humans for products like milk, eggs, meat, wool, silk, honey, etc. It is estimated that more than 70% of the world livestock population is in India and China. However, it is surprising to note that the contribution to the world farm produce is only 25%. That is, the productivity per unit is very low. Hence, in addition to conventional practices of animal breeding and care, newer technologies also have to be applied to achieve improvement in quality and productivity. India's livestock sector is one of the largest in the world. About 20.5 million people depend upon livestock for their livelihood. Livestock contributed 16% to the income of small farm households as against an average of 14% for all rural households. Livestock provides livelihood to 2/3 of the rural community. It also provides employment to about 8.8% of the population in India. India has vast livestock resources. Livestock sector contributes to 4.11% of GDP and 25.6% of the total agricultural GDP. In today's class, we will learn about livestock trends, importance of livestock, problems associated with the sector, government schemes associated with them. Dairy farm management. Dairying is the management of animals for milk and its products for human consumption. In dairy farm management, we deal with processes and systems that increase yield and improve quality of milk. Milk yield is primarily dependent on the quality of breeds in the farm. Selection of good breeds having high yielding potential under the climatic conditions of the area combined with resistance to diseases is very important. For the yield potential to be realized, the cattle have to be well looked after. They have to be housed well, should have adequate water and be maintained disease free. The feeding of cattle should be carried out in a scientific manner with special emphasis on the quality and quantity of fodder. Poultry is the class of domesticated fowl birds used for food or for their eggs. They typically include chicken and ducks, and sometimes turkey and geese. The word poultry is often used to refer to the meat of only these birds, but in a more general sense, it may refer to the meat of other birds too. Breeding of animals is an important aspect of animal husbandry. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable qualities of the produce. Beekeeping or apiculture is the maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey. It has been an age-old cottage industry. Honey is a food of high nutritive value and also finds use in the indigenous systems of medicine. Honeybee also produces beeswax, which finds many uses in the industry, such as in the preparation of cosmetics and polishes of various kinds. The increased demand of honey has led to large-scale beekeeping practices. It has become an established income-generating industry, whether practiced on a small or on a large scale. Fishery is an industry devoted to the catching, processing or selling of the fish, shellfish or other aquatic animals. A large number of our population is dependent on fish, fish products and other aquatic animals such as prawns, crabs, lobster edible oyster, etc. for food. Some of the freshwater fishes which are very common include catla, rohu and common crab. Some of the marine fishes that are eaten include hilsa, sardines, mackerel and pomfrets. Economic Survey 2020 noted that livestock sector has grown at a compound annual growth rate of 7.9% during the last 5 years. As per the Economic Survey 2021, the contribution of livestock in total agriculture and allied sector gross value added has increased from 24.32% to 28.63%. Livestock income has become an important secondary source of income for rural families and has assumed an important role in achieving the goal of doubling farmers' income. Let's look at few of the trends in the livestock sector in India. Total livestock population is 535.78 million, an increase of 4.6% over the livestock census of 2012. Total bovine population from 79 million in 2019, an increase of about 1% of the previous census. A decline of 6% in the total indigenous or non-descript cattle population over the previous census. The population of cows in the country has risen by 18% in the last 7 years, while that of oxen dipped by 30% according to the latest census of livestock. There was a spectacular 16.8% increase in the poultry population in the country to 851.81 million, mainly on account of a 46% rise in the backyard poultry birds, whose numbers have gone up to 317 million. The number of female cattle is 145.12 million, which is 18% over 122.98 million in 2012. The number of male cattle, on the other hand, dropped to 47.4 million as against 67.92 million in 2012. While cattle accounted for 35.94% of the total livestock in the country, goats accounted for 27.8%, buffaloes 20.45%, sheep 13.87% and pigs 1.69%. Small ruminant sector. Sheep and goat are collectively known as small ruminants. India supports 16.1% of the world's goat population and 6.4% of its sheep. Now let's look at the 20th livestock census. India is the world's highest livestock owner at about 535.78 million. First in the total buffalo population in the world, 109.85 million buffaloes. Second in the population of goats, 148.88 million goats. Second largest poultry market in the world. Second largest producer of fish and also second largest aquaculture nation in the world. Third in the population of the sheep. Fifth in the population of ducks and chicken. 10th in the camel population in the world. These were few of the highlights of the 20th livestock census and some of the trends. Now let's move on. Animal husbandry refers to livestock raising and selective breeding. It is the management and care of animals in which the genetic qualities and behavior of animals are further developed for profit. A large number of farmers depend upon animal husbandry for their livelihood. It supports the livelihood of almost 55% of the rural population. The livestock plays an important role in the economy of the farmers. The farmers in India maintain mixed farming system, that is a combination of crop and livestock, where the output of one enterprise becomes the input of another enterprise, thereby realize the resource efficiency. The livestock serves the farmers in different ways. Income. Livestock is a source of subsidiary income for many families in India, especially the resource poor who maintain few heads of animals. Cows and buffaloes, if in milk, will provide regular income to the livestock farmers through sale of milk. Animals like sheep and goat serve as sources of income during emergencies to meet exigencies like marriages, treatment of sick persons, children education, repair of the houses, etc. The animals also serve as moving banks and assets which provide economic security to the owners. Employment. A large number of people in India, being less literate and unskilled, depend upon agriculture for their livelihoods. But agriculture being seasonal in nature, could provide employment for a maximum of 180 days in a year. The landless and the less land people depend upon livestock for utilizing their labor during lean agricultural season. Food. The livestock products such as milk, meat and eggs are an important source of animal protein to the members of the livestock owners. The per capita availability of milk is around 355 grams per day, eggs is 69 per annum. Social security. The animals offer social security to the owners in terms of the status in the society. The families, especially the landless, which own animals are better placed than those who do not. Gifting of animals during marriages is a very common phenomena in different parts of the country. Rearing of animals is a part of the Indian culture. Animals are used for various socio-religious functions. Cows for housewarming ceremonies, rams, bucks and chicken for sacrifice during festive seasons. Bulls and cows are worshipped during various religious functions. Many owners develop attachment to their animals. Gender equity. Animal husbandry provides gender equity. More than 3/4 of the labor demand in livestock production is met by women. The share of women employment in livestock sector is around 90% in Punjab and Haryana, where dairying is a prominent activity and animals are stall fed. Draft. Bullocks are the backbone of Indian agriculture. Despite lot of advancements in the use of mechanical power in the Indian agricultural operations, the Indian farmer, especially in the rural areas, still depends upon bullocks for various agricultural operations. The bullocks are saving a lot on fuel, which is necessary input for using mechanical power like tractors, combine harvesters, etc. Pack animals like camels, horses, donkeys, ponies, mules, etc. are being extensively used to transport goods in different parts of the country in addition to the bullocks. In situations like hilly terrains, mules and ponies serve as the only alternative to transport goods. Similarly, the army has to depend upon these animals to transport various items in high areas of altitude. Dung. In rural areas, dung is used for several purposes, which includes fuel, fertilizer and plastering material. Now let's look at the contribution of livestock sector to Indian economy. Employment. According to NSSO's 68th round on employment and unemployment, 16.44 million workers were engaged in the activities of farming of animals, mixed farming, fishing and aquaculture. Largest milk producer. India is the largest producer of milk in the world. Milk production in the country was 188 million tons in 2018-19 with a yearly growth of 6.5%, resulting in increased per capita availability to 394 grams per day. Income. About 20.5 million people depend upon livestock for their livelihood. Livestock contributed 16% to the income of the small farm households as against an average of 14% for all rural households. Livestock provides livelihood to 2/3 of the rural community. As per the 70th round of NSSO, livestock rearing is a principal source of income to 3.7% of the agricultural households. Livestock sector contributes to 11% GDP and 25.6% of the total agricultural GDP. Food. The livestock products such as milk, meat, eggs are an important source of animal protein to the members of the livestock owners. The per capita availability of milk is around 375 grams per day, eggs is 74 per annum during 2017-18. Social security. The animals offer social security to the owners in terms of their status in the society. The families, especially the landless, which own animals, are better placed than those who do not. Fisheries sector. The sector provides livelihood to about 16 million fishers and fish farmers at the primary level and almost twice in the number along the value chain. Share in the agricultural GDP. The sector accounts for 58% of GDP from agriculture, forestry and fishing. Also, the sector is one of the major contributors of foreign exchange earnings, with India being one of the leading seafood exporting nations in the world. Fish production. The total fish production in the country was 13.42 million metric tons during 2018-19. Now let's look at the challenges faced by the livestock sector in India. Firstly, productivity. Improving the productivity of the farm animals is one of the major challenges. The average annual milk yield of Indian cattle is 1,172 kg, which is only about 50% of the global average. Diseases. The frequent outbreaks of the diseases like foot and mouth diseases, black water infection, influenza, etc. continue to affect livestock health and lowers productivity. Greenhouse gases. India's huge population of ruminants contributes to greenhouse gas emissions. Reducing greenhouse gases through mitigation and adaptation strategies will be a major challenge. Loss of indigenous breeds. Crossbreeding of indigenous species with exotic stocks to enhance the genetic potential of different species has been successful only to a limited extent. Limited artificial insemination services owing to deficiency in the quality, germplasm, infrastructure and technical manpower, coupled with poor conception rate following artificial insemination, have been the major impediments. Less credit. The sector received only about 12% of the total public expenditure on agriculture and allied sectors, which is disproportionately lesser than its contribution to agricultural GDP. The sector has been neglected by financial institutions. Meat production and market. Likewise, slaughtering facilities are inadequate. About half of the total meat production comes from unregistered makeshift slaughterhouses. Marketing and transaction costs of livestock products are high, taking 15 to 20% of the sale price. Government initiatives to boost this sector. Now let's look at them. Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. So this is the first major fund launched by the government that includes a diverse set of stakeholders such as farmer producer organizations, private dairy players, individual entrepreneurs and non-profits within its ambit. It was launched in June 2020. It has been set up with an outlay of 15,000 crore rupees. The main aim of this fund is to support private investment in dairy processing, value addition and cattle feed infrastructure. The incentives will be given for establishing plants for export of niche products. What is a niche product? A niche product is a product targeting a specific section of a large industry and a market. Niche products are often, but not always, more expensive than the generic products. It will also support the establishment of animal feed plants of varying capacities, including setting up of mineral mixture plants, silage making units, and animal feed testing laboratory. Government is National Animal Disease Control Program. It is being launched for the foot and mouth disease and brucellosis with a total outlay of 13,343 crore rupees to ensure 100% vaccination of the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat and pig population. Next, we have the Rashtriya Gokul Mission. It is to develop and conserve indigenous breeds of bovine population to enhance milk production and to make it more remunerative to the farmers. National Livestock Mission. This mission encompasses all the Indian states. There are 4 sub-missions under the National Livestock Mission. Let's look at them. Firstly, the sub-mission on fodder and feed development, sub-mission on livestock development, sub-mission on pig development in the northeastern region, sub-mission on the skill development, technology transfer and extension. So what is this mission? It's a centrally sponsored scheme and is run as a sub-mission under the White Revolution. It started operating in 2014. It ensures qualitative and quantitative improvement in the livestock production systems, especially in sheep, goat, pig, poultry, feed and fodder sector. Sustainable growth and development of the livestock sector, including poultry. The increasing availability of the fodder and the feed sustainability reduce the demand-supply gap through measures that include more area coverage under quality fodder seeds, technology promotion, extension, post-harvest management and processing in the consonance with the diverse agroclimatic condition, accelerating production of quality fodder and fodder seeds through effective seed production chain, that is nucleus, breeder, foundation, certified, truthfully labeled, etc., with the active involvement of farmers and the collaboration with dairy of farmers cooperatives, seed corporations and private sector enterprises. Establishing convergence and synergy among ongoing plan programs and stakeholders for sustainable livestock development, promoting applied research in prioritized areas of concern in animal nutrition and livestock production, capacity building of state functionaries and livestock owners through strengthened extension machinery to provide quality extension service to the farmers, promoting skill-based training and dissemination of the technologies for reducing the cost of production and improving the production of livestock sector, promoting initiatives for conservation and genetic upgradation of the indigenous breeds of livestock in collaboration with farmers or farmer groups or cooperatives, etc. Encouraging the formation of groups of farmers and cooperative producers, companies of small and marginal farmers or livestock owners, promoting innovative pilot projects and mainstreaming of successful pilots relating to the livestock sector, providing infrastructure and linkage for marketing, processing and value addition as forwarding linkage for the farmers' enterprises, promoting risk management measures including livestock insurance for farmers, promoting activities to control and prevent animal diseases, environmental pollution, promoting efforts towards food safety and quality and supply of quality hides and skins through the timely recovery of the carcasses, encouraging community participation in these sustainable practices related to animal husbandry, involvement of the community in breed conservation and creation of the resource map for the states. National Artificial Insemination Program. This program is to suggest novel methods of bringing about impregnation in the female breeds. This is to prevent the spread of certain diseases which are genital in nature, thereby enhancing the efficiency of the breed. With increasing population, persistent rise in the food inflation, unfortunate rise in the farmers' suicide, and majority of the Indian population having agriculture as a primary occupation, the practice of animal husbandry is no more a choice but a need in the contemporary scenario. Its successful, sustainable and skillful implementation will go a long way in ameliorating the socio-economic condition of lower strata of our society. Linking the animal husbandry with food processing industry, agriculture, researchers and patents has all the possible potential to make India a nutritional powerhouse of the world. Animal husbandry is the imperative hope, definite desire and urgent panacea for India as well as the world.